take a breath, because what you're about to hear is not a ghost story, not a legend, but a documented investigation buried for more than a decade. August 14th, 2011. Paramedics break down the door of a quiet apartment in Portland, Oregon. Inside, they find Arthur Hale, a 48-year-old mathematician, lying on the floor. Eyes open, no wounds, no struggle, no sign of distress. But when investigators checked the clock on his kitchen counter, it displayed a handwritten note. "This is my day." And here's the part that shook the coroner's office. Arthur had told 3 different people, weeks earlier, the exact date he would die. Not out of fear, not out of depression. He said it like someone announcing a dentist appointment. "My time is May 14th. You'll see." Everyone ignored him, until he was found dead exactly on that day. Toxicology, negative. Cardiac scan, normal. Cause of death, undetermined. The medical examiner wrote a single word in his private notes: impossible. But this is only the surface, because in Arthur's office, detectives found something even more disturbing. 13 notebooks filled with equations, not random scribbles, not delusions, but a systematic framework he called the death calculation model. At first glance, it looked like an advanced probability formula, messy, chaotic, but logical. But then investigators noticed something horrifying. Arthur had made 4 predictions before his own. His neighbor, exact date, correct. His coworker, exact date, correct. His older brother, exact date, correct. A man he met only once, exact date, correct. Probability experts later estimated the likelihood of this being coincidence, 1 in 78 million. And when detectives interviewed people who knew Arthur, every one of them said the same thing. He wasn't psychic. He didn't believe in the supernatural. He believed in numbers. But the numbers were not the strange part. The strange part was that he didn't claim to calculate these dates. He said they were being given to him. "Sometimes at night," he wrote, "I hear them, like a whisper. The dates, the countdowns, the patterns." Investigators ruled it out as stress, delusion, sleep deprivation, until they found the video in a sealed envelope, labeled only "for whoever finds me." The file was time-stamped 3 hours before his death. In the recording, Arthur sits calmly on a chair, hands folded, voice steady. "If you're watching this," the formula worked. The video was short, only 1 minute, 12 seconds. But what Arthur said rewrote the entire investigation. At the 19-second mark, he said, "I didn't build the formula, I discovered it." And then, there is a moment in a person's life when numbers stop being numbers and start becoming doors. He explained nothing else, but detectives noticed something chilling in the background. A chalkboard filled with patterns. Among them, circled in red, a variable labeled XV, which he called the unknown factor. When detectives analyzed the formula, 4 parts made sense: heart rate aging, sleep cycle decay, stress-induced cell damage, genetic vulnerability markers. But the 5th part, 15, had no scientific basis whatsoever. Arthur simply described it as the thing that watches. Reddit users later called it the observer variable. But here's where things turn darker. Arthur's internet history shows that for 6 months, he searched for patterns in unexplained deaths, spontaneous cardiac arrests, missing person timelines, end-of-life dreams, near-death experiences. He built charts, he plotted graphs, and he kept arriving at one conclusion: deaths follow a pattern, even when life doesn't. Detectives believed Arthur's mental health had deteriorated until they found the prediction sheet, a paper listing 6 dates. 4 dates matched deaths that had already happened, one was Arthur's own, but the last date was 2 years in the future, and next to it, a name, HS, unknown. Police tried to trace the initials, no match, but that date stayed in their files. 2 years later, on that exact day, someone with the initials HS died in another state, under unexplained circumstances, and the case went from strange to unexplainable, because Arthur had predicted a death of a person he never met in a place he had never been. At the end of part 2, detectives were left with only 2 possibilities. Either Arthur Hale discovered a natural pattern science has not yet explained, or he connected with something that should never have been contacted. Cliffhanger line. But what investigators found in his journal was worse than the formula. Arthur Hale's journal was not a scientific log. It was a descent, a slow, methodical record of a man who believed he wasn't working alone. The first pages were rational, clear handwriting, detailed charts. Then the handwriting changed, became sharp, chaotic, words repeated, numbers circled obsessively. He wrote, "It's not prediction, it's transmission. The dates come in the quiet. I am not calculating. I am receiving." One paragraph in particular froze investigators. "I made a mistake. The formula isn't about death, it's about attention." What did that mean? Attention from what? Then they found the final page, the last thing Arthur ever wrote, a single sentence. "If you open the formula, it opens you." The case should have ended there, closed as an unexplained but harmless anomaly. But in 2016, a forensic data analyst reviewing stored evidence discovered something new, something everyone had missed. In Arthur's original formula file, buried in the metadata, was a line of code. Generate next subject, and beneath it, a timestamp set in the future, and a location 2 miles from Arthur's apartment. He had written none of this manually, meaning the formula edited itself. Investigators returned to the location on the timestamp. There, they found a bench overlooking the river. On the bench, carved faintly into the wood, "Do you hear it too?" The handwriting matched Arthur's, but the carving was fresh, made years after his death. Police closed the file. The formula remains sealed. The video remains locked. The journal sits in an evidence room that officers refuse to enter alone. And the final narration for Bella to deliver: "Death cannot be predicted, life cannot be calculated, yet one man tried, and something answered back." The Arthur Hale case is still unsolved, and somewhere the formula may still be calculating.